Hi everyone, my name is Tingyu. Today I'm going to talk about the ideal free distribution model. Ideal free distribution model is the model that scientists use to predict that resource availability and the presence of others influences how animals distribute themselves across their possible habitats. There are 5 assumptions in this model. In this video, I'm going to go through each of them and explain using the pike experiment that we discussed in class, or provide another experiment or counter example experiment that I have found of. The first assumption basically states that animals will distribute themselves in a way that maximizes their reproductive success or survival. In the experiment of the pike we discussed in the class, the pikes know to look for a cold and deep water body with plenty of small fish as prey. This is not just for food but also to find mates. So the South Basin is supposed to be a better habitat in this case. So as some pikes arrive early, they should choose the South Basin for maximizing fitness. And as the South Basin starts to fill in, the attainable fitness in that area will decrease. Some point, the North Basin will provide the same fitness as the South, and other pikes that arriving later will prefer to stay in the North Basin. The second assumption is that all individuals have equal access to resources and are equally able to compete for them. This assumption is not explicitly stated in the pike example, but we can assume that the equal competitor can be averaged out across the population. I found another study of clownfish in the sea anemones that found that there's no significant difference in the size, strength, or behavior of individual clownfish. This can be used to conclude that individuals like clownfish, they're equal competitor. The third assumption states that individuals are free to move at no cost. In class, we mentioned that the pike can move from the South Basin to the North Basin, or vice versa, freely, because these basins are connected by a shallow channel that takes a short time to swim through. A counterexample for this assumption can be something like hunting, fishing, or construction of roads that restricts the movement of the pikes. Assumption number 5 is fitness is negatively density dependent. So consider a population of social spiders which live together cooperatively and build large web communities. In this population, the amount of prey caught per capita decreases with increasing numbers of spiders, which negatively affects the fitness of the spider. A population matches the ideal free distribution model will result in an isolator when plotting the densities of two habitat options against each other. This means that as the density of habitat 1 increases, so will the density of habitat 2. An isolator can be linear as long as the lines in plot of number of individuals versus fitness are not curved. But it can also be a nonlinear curve like in graph E and F if the distribution plots of two habitats are something like non-linear like curves in C and F graphs. The ideal free distribution model can potentially predict the behavior of animals, but it may not fully capture the complexity of their habitat selection. For example, the model assumes that pikes will distribute themselves in relation to the availability of resources like food, water temperature. However, pike behavior may also be influenced by other factors such as like presence of predators, competitions with other pikes, or other type of fish in the basin, and also humans fishing activities. These factors can affect pike behavior and distribution in ways that are not directly accounted for in this model.